Good. Try that again. Good morning. It's February 9th, I guess. And is it the 9th? Yesterday was the 8th. So yes, it's the 9th. And I thought I'd take a walk up to Mosaic Stadium today. I haven't been up there for a while. They have some frost festival stuff up there, but I don't know if that's going on a weekday or not. Probably not. A bit foggy, or actually there's a smell of smoke too, so I don't know how much of this is... I don't think it's smoke. I think it's fog. I think that smoke is coming from somebody's fireplace, maybe. The smell. Bit cooler. -7 this morning. Only going to -2, so not an above freezing day today, although tomorrow's supposed to be the warmest day yet. +4 or 5 or something like that. They keep varying it a little bit. What the forecast is for. Whatever's going on at Mosaic Stadium, I'm hoping we'll get a look at the ice surface they've put in on the football field. World's largest skating rink, or whatever they call it. I don't know if it really is or not, but anyway, it's a good size. Elvis Stojko is supposed to perform there. I think that's coming up maybe this weekend as part of the Frost Festival. I don't think that's happened already. Obviously I'm not going, or I would know. Writing wise, I really got to get I still got some grant work to do. I really got to get that doesn't look good. I'm going to have to really keep an eye out for ice today after the melting yesterday. Got a grant I need to work on. Kickstarter I'm going to build. Book I'm writing. Book I'm editing. Lots to do. I've hired a marketing firm and I have a consultation call, my first one with them today, so that too. It's kind of a gray day for sure. Anywhere where there's bare concrete and a hill, the snow melts, water flows across the sidewalk, and then today's colder, which means there's now a sheet of ice there. So I've got to be extra aware of that today. Which will slow me down some, I think. So I'll probably just go up, walk around the stadium, and come back. I won't walk too much around the fairgrounds today. I have sometimes. It takes most of an hour to get up there and back on foot, not driving. And I have the external mic in, so I think it worked all through yesterday's walk. It seemed to, so that would be nice if it did that again. It was much foggier than this when I first looked out. I thought it was going to be a really foggy walk, which might have been cool, but by the time I got out the door, it had lifted quite a bit. I'll get across College here, and we'll go down to Elphinstone. I'll just walk along College today, I think. Instead of zigzagging like I sometimes do, we'll just keep it straight. More ice. Ugh. This is where people who have not cleared their sidewalk quite down to the concrete are actually doing pedestrians more favor than the ones who have under these conditions. Salt is helpful under these conditions. I haven't actually checked our sidewalk, but I think it was all right when I left. It's not quite down to the concrete, and it's quite shaded, so it didn't really melt off and get icy. Maple Crescent, this end of it, Garnet Street. Down there's the creek. The Faith, Saskatchewan Rough Riders. The sidewalk's barely cleared at all. Got a frog in my throat. When we come back, I'll probably go along 13th. Just to vary this. More of a commercial street. Another bad ice patch. Oh, and there's water on that. That's the worst of all. A little layer of water on ice. Nothing slipperier. Oh, that's a significant bit of construction. They're clearly redoing the basement completely and hoisted the house right up so they could work under it. Can't live through that renovation. You'd have to be somewhere else. You wouldn't even think it was possible, but there it is. I wonder if they could do it with our house. I hate to think about it. It's alarming to think about. Little pink houses for you and me. I always think of that song when I walk by that. Here's Elphinstone. Yeah, let's walk down the alley just to vary it. Shouldn't be too icy anyway. What's that? Transmission is unstable. Oh, I haven't seen that message for a long time. Hang in there. Don't disconnect on me. It still says unstable. Maybe I should get back on Elphinstone. Maybe that would help. We'll go back to the street. Just because of that message. kind of an interesting shot down the alley. That's so weird. I haven't seen an unstable internet connection message for feels like weeks. I don't know what brought it on today. Atmospheric conditions, maybe? Well, this is Elphinstone, which will take us straight up to the stadium. Oh well, that's why I post the recording of these walks, is because of the occasional bad connection situation where I'm probably starting and stopping. If you're watching live, I apologize for that. But I have no control. I just hope it doesn't hang up completely. But if it does, I'll have the recording and I'll post it later. Most people watch the recording, but there are people who just watch the live stream, or the recording of the live stream. It's only 7:20. The recording's at 1080. So a bit sharper. You know, assuming this is in focus. I just decided I should double check that. I touch my nose to the screen. That's what I do, and I'm trying to make sure it's in focus. I don't have any other skin available. My gloves don't work on the screen. This will take us up by Connaught School and the Connaught Library and the Happy High, which, despite its name, is not a pot shop but a coffee shop. It's high as in high. My daughter likes it a lot. The people there know her. Whenever she comes in, they remember her. She'll be back in a couple of weeks for reading week. She's coming back for a week from the University of Toronto, which will be nice. Our vaccine passports end midnight on Sunday, or 12:01 a.m. on Monday, to be absolutely precise. And mask mandates and everything that's left in the public health restrictions ends at the end of the month, which makes me very, very happy. It's Connaught School over there, kids in the playground. Must be recess. There's Connaught School, brand new school. There was a very old school there that built in 1914 that had too many structural and mold problems and other things to keep, so it got torn down, and now there's this brand new one. Well, it's been there long enough that I'm sure it's getting to the point where there aren't any kids that remember the previous version still in it. I don't know if there's any. I can't remember exactly when it was built. Still seems brand new to me, but you know, time goes by. My daughter's school, Davin School, was built a few years later in the 20s, and it's been worked on a couple of times, and it's still intact, and I'd hate to see it go. It's really a part of the neighborhood. I suppose this was too, but this isn't quite the same kind of neighborhood. Certainly there are people who fought to save it, but in the end, down it went. Then on the corner over here on the right is the Connaught Library. Probably walk by it when I come back, because I'm going to walk down 13th to go back and get down by the cathedral. Down that a ways. It's a new building over there. Not a very interesting building, but it is new. Here's the Happy High Coffee Bakery. Slate Fine Art Gallery next to it. Yeah, and we'll walk down that way when I come back. I guess we'll cross here. I kind of want to be on the other side of the street, but couldn't tell how long I had. Happy High. And gotta watch out for the ice again. In the school zone, I can speed up past 30 kilometers an hour again. All the way up to 50. I walk fast, I don't walk quite that fast. Actually makes crossings easier on this side than on over the Dairy Queen side up here at Elphinstone and Saskatchewan Drive. Just see how the lights cooperate. I'll go over whenever I get a chance. Maybe school hasn't started yet. Oh, I guess it hasn't. It's earlier than I thought. It's not even 9 o'clock. That's why I'm seeing all those kids headed to school. Aha. Might make the most sense to cross to my left here, since this is going to change before I can get to it. I don't think there's a button to push. Oh, there is, but so this is Elphinstone and Victoria Avenue. Our turn. Good morning, Kirk in Vancouver. Walking up to Mosaic Stadium today. Salt on this one, which has helped some. Ooh, didn't expect to dip down there. It is one of the hazards of doing this. You're not always watching where you should on your feet, although with the ice today I'm being more careful than sometimes. Get a sense of the fog here as we get closer to the stadium. Foggy in the upper reaches there, so it's kind of low-hanging cloud, I guess. We're supposed to get some snow today, but not much, I don't think. So there's Mosaic Stadium, home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders of the Canadian Football League. How long has it been to here? Only about 20 minutes, so certainly time to walk around. Fortunately, Not going to make this light, I don't think. I'll have to wait. I don't know how long it runs, so I don't want to cross and get caught in the middle of that broad intersection when it changes. Although they're risking it. Probably had time. Well, it would have been close. So there it goes yellow. And Saskatchewan Drive takes you downtown. It's the Lawson Aquatic Center over there. And then, of course, Mosaic Stadium and the Regina exhibition grounds are behind this with all the various barns and convention centers back there are one of them is. For some reason my right arm is really paining me from carrying the gimbal today. I don't know what's different. Slept on it wrong, maybe. Lights on in there too. Well, hopefully we can get a good view inside of the ice. I might walk up a bit further around the armory and we'll see. It's a long wait right here. There we go. There'll be a left turn signal that I'll have to wait for. Oh, no I don't. That surprises me. Okay, we have to cross the CP line. The main railroad from the National Dream by Pierre Burton, if you remember that, about the building of the CPR. Across the country, this is our transcontinental railroad. A small portion of it. If it hadn't come through here, Regina would be somewhere else, or else the capital might still be North Battleford, I suppose. The lights on in the stadium. There we are. Come down the CP line in both directions. Go around to the main entrance here of the stadium to start with, I think. I suppose I can walk over here instead. Down the side, a little closer. Looks like it's cleared. It's the Maxitron, I think they call it. Giant TV screen. Oh, and there went my external mic. Took it a while. Reconnected it, so we'll see if it stays up. It's completely random. That's what's so annoying about it. There's absolutely nothing I can figure out as to why that happens. At least with the wired mic I'm using here, I can plug it back in pretty easily. The wireless mic, which I prefer to use because, I spent money on that thing. If it disconnects, it's too awkward to plug back in. I should try it again. Again, that's the Lawson Aquatic Center. Well, this is a gym on this side, and then the peaked roof down there is the Aquatic Center. Building up ahead is the Armory. Yeah, I think looking at the time, I'll just walk around the stadium and then head back, because I definitely move slower under these conditions than I would on a sunny summer day. Good morning, Colleen. The Armory. I've walked by it before, but I won't today. See time's going by. And there's a whole bunch of rinks and exhibit space up ahead. And past that, I can't really see it from here, is the Pasqua Hospital. Walked by it before too, but won't today. I will, however, go over here and see what we can see in the stadium. I can't see the surface from here, so that's what I was afraid of. You can't actually get low enough to see the ice surface. But trust me when I say there's ice down there. Maybe I can see it from the other side, possibly. I can get a little closer. Ooh, ice there. Here's the Rider store for all your Rider merch, as they say. The Rider store. Get your t-shirts and your jerseys and your knickknacks and whatever else they can manage to stick a Rough Rider logo on, which is pretty much everything. This is the Queensbury Center with the orange over here. That's where my daughter's graduation banquet was. Oh, there goes the mic again. Huh. Okay, connected again. As long as I catch the message, I can keep plugging it back in, but often I miss the message and I don't find out. Oops, had it caught in my glove. I don't find out till I get home that I was only using the iPhone mic. So if you go back and see my walk through Agridome, that was through all of that space, full of cows and tractors and things. Still can't see anything from here either. But there's another view inside of the stadium through the mesh. Now I know they had some Frost Festival stuff set up over here. I think there's an indigenous village, or there was. And I see some booths down there. But it's all hidden away behind that fence. Well, maybe if I walk around that way. Oh, well, it ends up here. You can see something through there. Those look like porta potties, so well, let's go around. I can walk that much further. Some football players in the snow, Ron Lancaster and George Reed. Famous CFLers, very famous in Saskatchewan. Back when I first got interested in watching football, they were the ones. Quarterback and running back. Yeah, I can see in there a little bit. like a glass wheat field. I don't know if it's glass, it's probably an ice wheat field. We'll go around and look through the next entrance. Enterprise Police. I guess that's the name of the whole complex, or that part of the complex. Then you got the Queensbury up here. Redemption or purchase line. Yes, I was right the other day when I said you had to have a pass to actually go into the venues. That's the Agridome. That's where the Regina Pats play. It's the hockey rink. Hello, Elmar and Nanaimo. I've seen Cirque du Soleil in there twice too, among other things. It's kind of a big enough space for those kinds of things. I saw Bob Dylan in there, in Dire Straits, Alabama. So they do concerts as well. It's pretty echoey for concerts, but it works. A good enough sound system. Actually, I saw Dire Straits in there, and then when Bob Dylan came a few years ago, his opening act was Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits. Actually, I'd rather listen to than Bob Dylan, to be perfectly honest, but I liked Dylan's recordings. I thought that was an interesting seeing him live. He had an iconoclastic style of performing for sure. That's just a parking lot. Didn't really see anything on this side of the fence. I thought there'd be another entrance, but I guess the one I pointed the camera through was the only entrance. Makes sense if you're trying to control entry. Train somewhere honking. All right, we'll go back down this side of Mosaic Stadium as we turn the corner now and head for home at the 32-minute mark, so it should be pretty close to a normal length walk today. Again, that's the Maxitron, Jumbotron, Megatron, I can't remember what they call it. Giant TV right in front of us. I think they call it the Maxitron here. SaskTel Max is the SaskTel TV service, so it would make sense. Oh, now you can see in here a bit more. Nothing happening now, but on the weekend I guess it'll be up and running again. There's the stadium from this side. Again, there's like 20 or 30 rows down from ground level to the level of the field, which is why I haven't actually been able to get a glimpse of the field through any of the entrances. To see the ice on it. Giant rink. Heard that train. I hope it doesn't come through because you can wait a long time for a train at that crossing. See any of the field through here? If not, we won't see it anywhere because this is as close as any of them are. Nope, you can't see down to the ice surface. Well, trust me, there's ice. There's ice here, and there's definitely ice in there. It's just not cleared in any way. Ducks. I have had a tour of sort of the non-public areas of the stadium, except for, you know, dressing rooms and things like that. It's mostly a lot of concrete, as you'd expect. Not a smooth walk along there at all. Maybe from here? I doubt it. No, you cannot see the surface of the ice from out here anywhere. The fact the lights are on is a good indication something's happening down there. Flooding the ice, or I don't know what. You can almost see it. If I put it up there and point down, you might see a little bit under the goalposts of ice. And there's a Zamboni on it, so that's a sure sign of ice. They don't usually run a Zamboni over the football field, as a rule. Okay, we will cross the road. We will go down to 13th and carry on home from there down by the cathedral and stores along 13th. Oof, nice. I always think of my friend Robertson's musical version of The Snow Queen, which I was in the original production of it with Prairie Opera on a tour. Actually, we did many shows at schools around the province. That would have been in '94, I think. Anyway, the Snow Queen has an anthem. I always think of that. Ice is nice and snow is pleasing. Sleet is sweet, although our feet are freezing. Hail to the Queen. The cold doesn't matter. Our teeth will chatter. Hail to the Queen. There were actions with that, of course. The way those tours worked was we'd go into a school, 2 schools a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. They would have had, a package sent to them, and they knew what kind of sets we needed, and they would have built something or painted something or not, depended. And then they would have kids who were going to be in it, and we would work with them for an hour to put them into the show. Close enough. I missed the button. Not sure what they're doing. And then we do the show, which lasted, it was designed to last a period, basically 50 minutes or so, 40 minutes. We'd answer questions, and we'd pile into our rusted out old van and go to another school. This was all happening in January and February. Only occasionally did we have to turn back because of weather, but we did miss a show or two. Watch the ice along here too. I did that for 3 years. The Snow Queen was the first one I did. Heather Pawsey was the soprano. I can't remember the alto's name. Elaine something. Then Murray Motes, who ran the company, was the tenor, and I was the bass, so it was a quartet. Rob had done it, and so he knew exactly what was needed and wrote the show specifically for it. We also did a CBC recording. It was on CBC radio. I have that recording somewhere. Then later, he started, he expanded it for more hour and a half, full-length show for as young people see it, and they've done it several times since. My daughter was in it once, which is kind of cool. So we've both been in Rob's Snow Queen. I had a patter song, which I can almost remember, but not quite. There was a raven in a castle with a Kingsbury. Yeah. There's a raven in a castle with a Kingsbury wealthy, and he's got a lovely daughter who's beautiful and healthy, and he loved her very dearly, and he said she should be married. So he made a proclamation in a voice he really carried. He gave it to the raven, saying, take it to the princes of the mountains. Yeah, see there, I lost it. I'd have to bone up on it, but I'm pretty sure I could pick it up again pretty quick. Even though that was 25 years ago, 30 years ago, almost 30 years ago. Mind like a steel trap. And as you saw, I remember the Snow Queen anthem. Almost remember the actions. Oh, sounds like I just... Yeah, the signal is going down there. I just missed being caught by a train, so yay. I'm trying to remember all the words of the Raven song. And the trick was, you sang it really fast, and then just when you were about to finish, you get interrupted. Oh, we're running out of time. We can't finish it. Oh, I can finish it. Oh, we got like 30 seconds. I can do it. And then I race through it at enormous speed to wrap it up. I put it online, but I don't have the rights to do it. CBC would have some rights, and Rob, of course, it's his show, so I guess I could ask Rob. That still wouldn't take care of the CBC. And algorithms being what they are, if I put it on YouTube, it might very well get caught. Might not. But it's only an audio recording, so it's not really appropriate for YouTube. Got lots of other stuff on the web, music. I've never put that up. I think I could still find the CD. I think I still have a CD player. I haven't plugged a CD into my computer for quite a while now. Not since I burned all my CDs in for listening digitally. That's the Connaught Library there. Did various programs there over the years. We even did a wine tasting there, my wife and I, which was fun. And I've done writing related things there too, of course, and readings and stuff. Connaught School again, but now we're going this way down 13th instead of down Elphinstone. Not 1930, says the sign over the door. Connaught Library. Slate Fine Art Gallery over there. Oh, this used to be one of our favorite sort of higher end restaurants, and now it's a chicken takeout place, but oh well, such is life. The Creek and Cathedral Bistro, it was called. I had many a special dinner there, but not now. There's a waiter there we liked. For some reason we called him Rodney, but I'm not at all sure that was his name. I don't know where that came from. He answered to it, so maybe it was his name. think my mother-in-law thought his name was Rodney, and so that's what we went with. With restrictions lifting, the Cathedral Arts Festival ought to be happening normally this year. Outdoors, lots of booths and things along here. I'm debating whether I should see about having a booth, try to sell books. Trouble is I'd have to rent something with a roof because it can rain. You'd have to have tarps and things ready to cover the books if it did. That's a bit of a concern. Something goes wrong, you could ruin a lot of stock with books, but I suppose that's true of anybody exhibiting. Anything that's not ceramics or something like that. Never tried it, but it might be fun. Coteau Books that published my Shards of Excalibur series used to have a booth. They're gone now.
Come on.
Someone late for somewhere. Personally, wouldn't leave my child quite that far behind me as I walked, that small child. It's just condos now. It used to be a nun's residence. And that brings us, of course, as one would expect, next door to that, the cathedral. Right here. Holy Rosary Cathedral, to be specific. 13th Avenue Coffee House over there with the mural on the side. That row of old houses. I think they're all, I don't know if they're all businesses or if there's still a couple of residences there. A couple of them still look like residences, but it's hard to be sure. No, I think they're all businesses. The cathedral could do a better job of clearing its sidewalks. Anyway, here's the front. We take a look up, look way up. And that's Holy Rosary Cathedral. Over here in this building is Penny University, which is a local bookstore. It has a lot of my books in it if you're looking to buy locally. Of course, you can also buy them directly from me. Edward Willett shop.com. I sell them online, and also shadowpawpress.com. I sell books. Then you get Westminster United here. Church I have sung in more than once. It's very good for choral concerts. Here's the front of Westminster United. Other stuff on the other side. Gale's Florist. If we need flowers, that's usually where we get them. Brandy's over here, convenience store. Has a post office in it, so I mail a lot of stuff from there. If you buy a book from me, or you kick into the Kickstarter, starting up in March, for Shapers of Worlds Volume 3, and I send you something, I would probably send it from there. Safeway, our grocery store. We just go by that and then down Metallic to get home. Getting close now. Pet store. Neighborhood center. And the new liquor store on the next corner. Not a huge selection because it's pretty small, but if you need something quick, it's certainly closer than anything else for us. Lots of ice along here I've got to watch out for. Just opened this year, or last year, I guess. Within the last year. How's that? In the last 6 months, I think. Right then. I've had my photograph taken here because they do driver's licenses. Just a few more blocks, that's all we've got to walk. A few more blocks before I'll stop to talk. And then I suppose I'll have to get back to work. I've got I'm getting married in the morning stuck in my head again. It was stuck there the other day for some reason. I'm getting married in the morning. Ding dong, the bells are gonna chime. That one. Pull out the stopper, let's have a whopper, but get me to the church on time. Thank you very much. It's a pernicious song, it sticks in your head like crazy. Permanent building, one of the older ones. Oop, Doritos truck. Lifetime supply of Doritos in that truck, if that's actually what it's carrying. I presume it is, because why else would they have Doritos on the outside? How long have I been to here? Yeah, it'll be pretty much right on an hour. Can do it a bit faster in dry weather, and I could have walked a bit more around the exhibition grounds and still made it back within a little over an hour, but definitely slower on ice and snow. There's a couple of newer houses here because there was a big fire back when Alice was in elementary school. Took out 3 houses along here. I took out one and damaged the others enough that they were torn down. It's actually puddles walking out for. And ice. I almost wore my warmer coat. I'm glad I didn't. -7 is about as low as I liked with just the leather jacket. But actually, as warm as I've gotten, without the wind, I could probably wear it at even lower temperatures. Only because I'm active. It would be too little if you were outside for hours, not moving around. I can feel the chill, but the heat of my generated by my walking is keeping it from bothering me. -7, of course, is about 19 Fahrenheit, something like that. Oh, here's Davin School, where my daughter went to school. Elementary school, then she went to high school at Luther College High School, which I've also walked by on occasion, but not starting from home. This is IC2. This she could walk to. Luther I had to drive her to every day. And pick her up. Now she has a driver's license, and she's at the University of Toronto and not using it because you don't need a car in Toronto. And she lives practically on top of the campus, so she's got a good location. I think they're back in in-person classes. And with every province now talking about lifting restrictions, hopefully things will be back to what we had hoped she would have as a university experience, instead of what she had last year when she was home doing everything online. She's been there this year, but mostly still doing stuff online. Almost to the corner where I usually stop, and we'll do so again. One more block, short block. Okay. Here we are at the corner. So there you go. Almost exactly an hour. Mosaic Stadium and back on a fairly nice day. Kind of gray, but pleasant. And that's it for now. Thanks for walking with me. I'll be back.